welcome back to Jammy D Media. Today we're reviewing 3 Blu-ray box sets of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, 2 and 3. The good news is if you're living in Europe and America or Asia or Australia or anywhere else universally that has a Blu-ray player, these are all region free. The bad news is these two are most likely out of print. I had a hell of a time tracking the second season down and I came across Season 1 out of sheer luck. This one is currently on Amazon, Season 3, and they're all kind of Amazon hardback digibook covers, so that's where these editions come from. The rest are all crappy flip disc standard versions that aren't great, but very expensive. This was, I saw this for like going up to like €100, and this one was just like, don't even go looking for it, it's already gone. But we'll get into it. I'll give you some of my thoughts on the seasons. It's not so much a review as a, hey, look how nice these things are. If you watch the show, you'll know it has its ups and downs. It usually gets better as each season kind of progressively moves forward. It's good, it's humorous, it's not as gritty as Daredevil. It doesn't have the character arcs of Jessica Jones. You know, it's not made by Netflix, essentially. It's made by ABC, the people who brought you Lost and Desperate Housewives and things like this. But it's good for what it is. I like the show. I catch it casually now and then. I'll binge review 6 episodes here and there. At least of the newer stuff anyway. I watched religiously maybe the first 2 seasons because I was like, oh, this, you know, until it became to a point where you're like, oh, this actually doesn't really affect the movies that much. The movies affect them, but it doesn't go up either. So, and it doesn't interconnect that much with the films. Except for when the films decide to interconnect with them. But anyway, so we'll get into them now and have a look at Season 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so here's Season 1 of it, and it's nice and embossed and the letters are all glossy. This is the season that makes the most effort. Why, you ask? Because it has the most special features on the back here. It's got loads of special features and loads of languages, including Portuguese, Spanish, Thai, Chinese and French, and of course English. It's lovely. It comes out like this. Get your little images. This is essentially what the difference is between the flip discs and this. It's kind of like the Game of Thrones box sets. You get your characters and things like this, and you get your discs like so. When you flip all out like this, horrible artwork on the discs, that horrible blue. You get your characters in the back. I think they fixed that in later seasons actually. So hold it up like that there so you can see. So you get your characters there. There's Agent Coulson box. Nice heavy cardboard. We like to see that. So yeah. And then I'll show you the other side. What weight? Holy God. So bloody long. You get 5 discs if you count it right. So you got your... Oh, they give you the special features there actually. I don't think they do that on later seasons. They give you the list of it on the back. And you got the cast there and things like this, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They make like a big fuss of this for the Season 1 box set. And they do not keep that standard up later on, I'm afraid. So you got 2 of them like this here. Like that. Microphones. Good series. Got better as it went along. You know, the first 7 episodes were not great, and then it kind of picked up, and then by the end of it I was on board with this. By the time this season finished I was on board with it. They really kind of pushed it forward, and because Season 1 was so critiqued, it was like, why isn't this as good as the Avengers, blah blah blah. They were literally changing nearly the framework for the first 10 episodes, I would say, of the whole thing, and then it kind of settled down into its own kind of plot, we'll say. And it was the most interconnected Season 2, probably the Avengers, because it's what happens to this character from the Avengers movie, and that's probably the most interconnected thing that has happened in all the TV shows. Daredevil doesn't really connect with fucking anything. It mentions what happens in the Avengers as the incident and all this kind of stuff. You know, they just pretty much come out and say that, oh, you know, it's Captain America and blah 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 and all these things. They're only kind of referenced in other shows. But yeah, how much did this cost me? I picked this up second hand, believe it or not. I don't know who in the right mind would let it go, because they're so fucking hard to pick up. But it was like €15 or something like that. The same price. They were selling this as the same price as the regular ones for some fucking reason. They should have charged an extra $5, but I got away with murder on this purchase, to be honest, in CEX. But yeah, we'll move on on to season 2. Season 2. This, when it came out, I did not buy it first off, and I regret not buying it when it first came out. Because I actually really liked this season. It was fine. They mess around with the Inhumans, plots and things like that. I won't go into it if you haven't really seen it. If you're just kind of more here to see what the box looks like. But it's got like these nice alien patterns, which are part of the show that people start inscribing into things. The Kree writing, spoiler, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so there's fuck all. There's only like bloopers and deleted scenes on this. There was loads of special features in season 1, and then you just kind of go, oh, leave all the space here, and all you get is English, and then English, and then English subtitles. That's it. Nothing else. It's lazy. But hey, the glossy sort of embossing thing going on here is nice, and the lettering's still nice. It's still like a nice thick cardboard. That is actually not thicker than the second one. This I picked up again second hand, I have to say, shame on me, for 26 euro or something like that. I was lucky to come across this because you'll be charged 60 euro to 90 euro and probably beyond for this because they're out of print essentially, or they've just been bought all up and all the discs are upside down. Brilliant, more or less. Thank you to the new girl. When I bought this in the shop, she was a new girl up in Dublin. She was like, took about 15 minutes for her to put it through the till. God bless her. But anyway, the same thing again. You get your disc art on this one, thank fuck. And I'll just open this here. And the characters, what way does this open? Over here. Like, so you get your characters in the back. So you didn't get that with season 1, it was just all blue discs and things like that. So, but you get your characters in the disc here. Fantastic. And again, with just a little bit of jerry rigging, you get this kind of neat Agent Coulson, inscribed onto a wall, like I said. That kind of becomes a part of the actual plot. And this is a smoother plot actually than season 1. I thought season 1 was like up and down, but it was like not as out there. This is a very out there plot, but it was smoother in its transitioning, I think, in terms of like, this is going to be a long 2-arc thing. Even though they're usually 2-arc stories or whatever, they kind of still focus on Inhumans on this, and I like that. I actually like this one. Special features over here, not great, not worth printing on it, to be honest. Should have thrown that off if they're not going to give you loads. But yeah, this is expensive. I'm happy to have got it for 25 quid. I consistently keep being lucky picking these up. So when season 3 came out, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I decided to pick it up and not leave anything to chance. But it looks mighty well, a bit of spine in that. It's cool. Yeah, I should have picked it up when it came out. It was probably just 3 or 4 more euro than it was that I bought. It was 30 quid or something when it came out. They're usually about 33 quid when these come out, in your local store or whatever. But I picked it up fucking 2 years later or whatever. But I'm happy. This one is in such good condition as well. I've seen ones. I actually saw one before I saw this one, and it was like, it's like they feed it to a dog or whatever, Sometimes you see Blu-rays and it's just like they're selling them for like 20 something quid, and the casing just looks like that they fed it to a fucking Alsatian or a German Shepherd or something, and then just kind of stuck it back on the shelf, and you're like, you serious? No. But yeah, this is great. This is really good season. Moves kind of smoothly from the end of season 1 into this season, and it's ambitious, so I'll give it that. Season 2 is quite ambitious, and in fact season 3 is almost to a 2-parter this season. But we'll get on to season 3 and we'll take a look at that now. Season 3 arrived in the post with a bunch of other stuff today, which I will be getting around to showing you the other stuff that came. Trusty nail file that's curved, so we're going to open it because it's actually still in plastic, and I have to be careful how I open this because this is really tight plastic, so I might fast forward this part. Season 3. Ooh, that's nice. They kind of changed it up. It's very nice. It's almost like a little bubble thing actually. Letters feel a bit less glossy than the previous seasons, but still glossy. It's less heavy as well. This box set is less heavier noticeably less heavier than the previous two, and it's a little bit thicker actually. I only noticed that when I had them lined up on my shelf. I was like, that looks a bit thicker than, just a little bit more thicker. So I was trying to wrap it in plastic and it wouldn't wrap, and I was like, that's strange. And then I put them on the shelf and I was like, oh, it's a little bit thicker. So they've kind of slightly jerry-rigged it. But there's your cover. It's still rather hard. I like that. That nice clean white. Kind of reminds me of season 3 of Game of Thrones. And you've got Agent what's his face, who becomes that guy with octopus face. Who can remember his name? Staring at each other. That's quite clever. More characters in your discs. Thankfully. It feels a bit weird. Everything feels new and sticky and unhandled. Thankfully they put a little square. You can push the discs down now. Look at that. Amazing. And you've got your artwork in there like so. Pretty good. Artwork of the discs. I like it. This is a good season. A very good season actually. There's some very good standout episodes in this, particularly. I don't want to spoil anything to people, but the episode where Jenna ends up like on a fucking different planet. I think that might have been the season 2 finale, I think, or something. But they follow what happened to her. That was very good. The whole trying to get her back, going to that place. That reveals... Oh, Agent Grant, that's it. Hydra. And Hive. Hive's the octopus dude. He looks like he's Davy Jones. Yeah, Hive's good in this. It's a good story arc. It's probably goes on for a bit too long, but I found it good to watch. So, you know, it kind of finishes up this Inhuman story arc that started in season 2. Since we're not getting an Inhumans movie maybe for another fucking while. So I don't know. It looks good. I'm happy with this purchase. €33 Amazon. Thank fuck it comes in the card. Because these are first presses. Like they'll essentially overnight they'll go, right, yeah, out of these, and just stick up an image of like a very basic looking Blu-ray with flip stuff in it. So they sell out quickly. I don't know what the number is that they have with this. It's probably a few 100,000 or whatever. I honestly don't know how many they print. But look, when they're out, they're out. Be lucky like me and pick them up second hand, scratch free. Good luck. I mean, from the time I got season 1 to season 2 was maybe 4 months. I'm not joking you, 4 months in between getting them. I just kind of happened to come across them, so really keep your eyes peeled. This looks great. Sad that it won't fit in my plastic, but I'll find a way, don't you worry. Lazy with special features. Once again we get bloopers and English and English and English. That's considering these are region free sets. Which kind of, you know, you can't sell them in Germany or France or whatever if no one's going to understand them. So that's a pity because they're very nice looking, and they've kept the standard of the packaging for these Digibooks, but they haven't kept the standard for, you know, the special features and the subtitles, but they've went to the effort of making them region free. That's all. But yeah. So yeah, that's season 3 for you. It's pretty nice, if I have to say. This is me looking at it for the first time. Obviously, I've seen season 3, but that was me just opening it there. So you opened it with me. How interpersonal that was. I think we feel like we shared something. Yeah, this doesn't mind telling you the plot. I always like about these seasons, they don't mind telling you the plots. Images in the back of this is nice and glossy. Then you get back to this matte stuff going on here. Not super dry matte though, which is nice. It's very glossy. It feels very plasticky, like you had a costume or something for a kid and it was like the plastic, really glossy, but fucking really nice. Really happy with these sets. They make a good show great. I think just having them in this, they look good sitting on the shelf. I've seen a lot of the Marvel people with Marvel steelbooks and slips and stuff like that, and they have like very basic versions of these. So it's nice to have copies of these because you know that they'll re-release steelbooks of all the Marvel movies and things like that down the road, but they'll probably only stick these all together in a box set. And I like to have them like the Game of Thrones box sets where they're hard cardboard and you get the images and you get everything, and it tells you, specifically focuses on that because, you know, they're only fucking that weight, they only take up that much space. 2 Blu-rays worth, and they're well worth it, and they're cheap enough if you can get them cheap. If you can hunt these little bitches down, these be cheap, okay? So that is Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, 2 and 3. I don't really want to go into them too much of a review. I could probably come back to them and doing a more in-depth review. Probably when a few more seasons come out, because it'll make more sense jumping from plot to plot. I don't usually like to do reviews of just like, oh, a series that hasn't finished, because season 4 is airing now. But I thought since I had them now all together and they're starting to look well, I'd show you how it's coming along, and we'll come back to it in a part 2 sometime in the future when we get season 4 with Ghost Rider and the LMDs, the living robots plot and stuff like this. But they look good. I'll try and keep purchasing them down the road, because honestly, you got your Game of Thrones and your other stuff to be buying, and that takes up a lot more time and money and effort and blah blah blah. But these are nice, different patterns, you know, just they look good like that. Look at that, imagine that sitting there on your shelf, boom. Fingerprint, that's the thing with matte. Fingerprint fucking goes mad on your matte, specifically my season 1, because it was a second hand edition. So I'll have to try and find a way. It's not scratched or anything, thank fuck. But yeah, that is all of them there. Hope I gave you some sort of video. I'm sorry that the camera isn't super up close. I mean, it's not Blu-ray porn. It is Blu-ray porn, but it's not Blu-ray porn. It's basically what you get with it. It's what I'm more interested in showing you. The close-ups, you know, they're essentially the same discs in the flip discs. That's the cardboard. That's the shape of you, as Ed Sheeran would say. I'm in love with the shape of these. But yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Jammy D Media.